Okay, this is quiz number 2, problem number 2. It is the same on both forms. Alright, so I want to calculate this limit algebraically. So that means I'm not using any kind of estimation or approximation techniques. I actually want to do something with algebra, right? So limit as x approaches 1. So note, I'm just going to come over here, off to the side. I'm going to note that if I plug in 1, I'm going to get 0 over 0. Okay? This tells me I don't know anything. It tells me nothing. I don't know anything about what this limit might be. Okay? Certainly I could plug in my calculator and approximate and see where do I think it's going to be. But for now, I want to try and calculate it, and I can use my calculator to check and see, yes, this looks like what I should have gotten. Okay. So, algebraically, so I've got 0 over 0. I'm taking the limit as I approach 1. If it was infinity, I have a couple tricks. That's problem 3 and 4. But it's not infinity. I don't have those same tricks. All I have, really, is I think I should factor this. So, you see, calculate a limit algebraically. X approaches an actual number, not infinity. Well, let's see if we can factor something. So, we can factor it. The numerator factors into x minus 1 times x minus 1. Right? Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Multiply to that, add to that. The denominator, I've got two terms. Well, let's see. I've got x squared minus x. Oh, there's an x in both of those terms. So remember, when you're factoring, first thing you do, factor any common factors out. So there's an x in both of those. And hopefully, hey look, there's an x minus 1 that cancels out. Alright, and that's exactly what we want to happen. In fact, we can look at this, and since it's x approaching 1, one would expect that an x minus 1 factors out, because, well, x minus 1 is going to give you a 0. We're approaching 1, we got a zeros. So it should have factored out, and it did. And since it canceled, it's going to be equal to the limit of this. But notice if I just plug in the numbers here, I get a number out. 1 minus 1 over 0 is 0 over 1. This has a value, not to be confused with if you had 1 over 0. That doesn't have a value, but this does. It's just 0. There's your limit.